Hello everyone, and welcome to this video lecture. Here we were going to talk about the same example that we worked on, and we solved it manually and using interpolation, linear interpolation. We found the IRR of this example. What we're going to do here is to look at that problem and how to solve it in Excel, which is actually a quicker way of calculating the rate of return. But more importantly, I want to graph present worth versus MARR, or interest rate. We know that the internal rate of return is the interest rate at which present worth is equal to 0. So what I want to do here is, here I'm listing the information. As you can see, the initial investment of this project is $200,000, so that's why I put a negative sign behind it. There's an annual revenue of $35,500, salvage value of $10,000, and here I calculated the internal rate of return, and the formula to calculate that is rate. So in Excel, if you put in rate, there's a function that you can use to calculate rate of return, and the information that you need to pass in to that function, the first argument is n per, and that's number of periods. So here we're looking at 10 years, so I'm passing 10 here, and then comma. PMT is the annual value, and here we have an annual revenue of $35,500, so I'm passing that in, comma. The second or the third term is present worth, so present value of this investment is negative $200,000, so I'm passing that in, and future value is $10,000, so I'm passing that in, and that's the last parameter that we pass in here. So I close the parentheses and I hit enter. Here you have the internal rate of return calculated for us. And if you remember, in using linear interpolation, we got an internal rate of return that is pretty close to this value that we calculated in Excel. And the reason for that difference is that this is an approximation, but this is the exact internal rate of return. And just remember that rate function is a way of calculating interest rate associated with a series of information such as present worth, annual worth, and future worth on a cash flow. So what I want to do here is to calculate present worth and annual worth for different interest rates, and I want to see where present worth is equal to 0, at what interest rate. So I'm going to start at 1% and calculate present worth. There's a function in Excel to calculate present worth, and that is PV, standing for present value. When I open the parentheses, there are again a series of parameters that I need to pass in. The first one is the rate. So the rate that I want to pass in here is 1%, so I'm just going to select that, comma. N per is the number of periods. Here we're doing it over 10 years, so 10. PMT is A, or annual value, and in this case is 35,500. So here's the part that it gets a little tricky working with Excel. Excel assumes that if I pass in a positive value of annual revenue here, the present value that is going to be calculated is going to be negative. And the assumption is that to generate that kind of positive revenue on a regular yearly basis, you would have to invest some money. So present worth of equal to this annual value is going to be negative because it has to be an investment. But I don't want to have a negative value coming out of this PV function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trick this function by putting a negative sign behind 35,500 so that this PV function will return a positive value to me. Same with the future value. The last parameter that I'm going to pass in here is going to be negative 10,000, just to see a positive return coming out of this present value formula. And I close the parentheses. Something that I forgot here is to add this initial investment. This initial investment is already in present time. So I'm just going to put that behind this present value formula and add the present value of the cash flow to that. And if I hit enter here, I'm now seeing the present worth of this cash flow at 1%. Now I want to calculate the present worth at all of these percentages. I can go ahead here and do the same for 2%, but an easier way to do that is to just copy down this formula that I put in this cell, but I will only allow this interest rate to change when I copy this down. All of these numbers should stay the same. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lock some of these cells by pressing F4. So I want the $200,000 to stay same, so I lock that cell. But B8, which is the interest rate or MARR, I want that to change when I copy down. C2 is the annual value. So I'm going to lock that cell, pressing F4, and also the future value. So here, if I enter, I get the same value, and if I copy down the formula, it's going to calculate the present worth for me using different percentages. And you can double check by clicking on any of these cells, and here you can see that it takes the right numbers into the calculations. And here you can see how the present worth changes as interest rates goes up. And right around between 12% and 13% is when the present worth is equal to 0. And that's exactly what the IRR is. So that point, that intersection right here, is the IRR between 12% and 13%, exactly 12.45%. I'm expecting to see the same kind of trend for annual worth. It has to intersect with the horizontal line at the same point, but the trend might be different. So let's calculate annual worth using all these different interest rates. So I'm going to start with 1%, and to calculate annual worth, the function for that is PMT, standing for payment. Open the parentheses. You got to pass in some information here. First is the rate. So I'm going to use 1%, comma, number of periods, 10, comma. To pass in the right present value, I would have to pass in a positive initial investment in there so that PMT function returns a negative value for me. Because initial investment is actually negative, and equivalent annual worth of that should be negative. So in order to get a negative value out of this PMT, I have to pass in a positive $200,000. And because my $200,000 here has a negative sign, I would have to add another negative sign here and select it here so that I'm passing a positive $200,000. My future value is a revenue, so it's $10,000. And in order to return a positive value out of the PMT, I would have to pass in a negative $10,000. So I put a negative sign here behind the $10,000, and I will close the parentheses. Again, what I would have to do here is to add the $35,500, because that is already an annual revenue, to this function. And I have to lock all these cells, so when I copy down the calculation, they don't change. The only cell that I want to iterate through is B8, so it changes to next percentages. So here is the annual worth at 1%. If I copy down the calculation here all the way to 20%, here I see the trend of annual worth, and again it intersects with present worth at exactly IRR, which is 12.45%. And here you can see that between 12% and 13%, both present worth and annual worth change their sign from positive to negative. So for this project, if the MARR, or minimum attractive rate of return, of the investor is less than 12.45, anywhere here, he or she would have to take the project and invest in that project because it's going to return more profit. And that is obvious here because to the left of IRR here, both present worth and annual worth is positive, which is a good sign. If you were to calculate net present worth or annual worth of this project and you end up with a positive value, you would recommend that project. That is exactly what we're doing with IRR. What we're saying is if MARR is less than 12.45, then this project is worthwhile.